They got to bring some of that back out of him. It can't just be about the yeet, about the entrance, about the theme music, about the crowd participation. There's something more there, and they have not capitalized on it. All I'm saying is that this botch, this this moment of shame, is an opportunity that is right in front of everybody. It can either be something that they say, oh no, this makes everything worse. This scares us and it allows us to step away from this whole story, or allows us to go all the way in with this story and make this something special. Boom, bam, bam. Wrestling fans, we in. Ice P, he in. WRP, Wrestle Rap Podcast, we in. And y'all, hey, yo, let me rap to y'all real quick. Alright? You see me? I got something that I want to talk to y'all about, okay? And you know what I'm saying? The topic of discussion is, hey, hold on. Wait a minute. Let's examine this thing before we jump off the bridge with this whole thing. All right? Y'all seen Monday Night Raw. Y'all seen main event. Jey Uso. Y'all seen that moment. He jumped over the top rope. Y'all seen that botch, right? Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. All right. Okay. But it got me thinking, hold on, wait a minute. Can this be an opportunity right there in front of everybody to further advance this story, to tell a new story, to make some changes, to inject some life into this rivalry that Jey Uso has with Gunther? Hold on. This rivalry that Jey Uso seems to have with the IWC, seems to have with the fans, or the fans seem to have with him. Hold on. People saying, I don't know. Jey ain't WrestleMania worthy. I don't know. Jey should have never been the one to win the Royal Rumble. I don't know about this Jey Uso character. He's just a yeet man. All he do is say yeet. Huh? So, maybe this is the moment that Jey Uso needed. Maybe this is the moment that the WWE needed, that the office needed to see what's going on. Maybe this is the moment that the fans, maybe this is the moment that we need. So the question that I want to ask y'all real quick, did that botch just save Jey Uso's career? Did that botch just save Jey Uso's WrestleMania moment? Did that botch save Jey Uso and Gunther's road to WrestleMania? Well, let's get into it. All right. So now let's not go crazy. Now let's not go too far. Now I'm at Jey Uso and call this the top dollar, top rope over the top botch. Okay. Ho ho ho. Easy there. Slow it down. All right. Come on now. Let's not do Jey Uso that dirty. You feel me? Okay. All right. Anyways. Hey. Okay. So perhaps Jey will take this as a chance to look back and reflect. Perhaps Jey will take this as an opportunity to take a good look at himself in the mirror and ask himself if he likes what he sees, and ask himself if he himself believes in what he sees. He has to truly ask himself if he truly believes that this guy right here, if this version of Jey Uso can actually beat Gunther. Is the man looking back at him right now in that mirror worthy of being the world champion? That's what he's got to ask himself. Those are the type of questions he's got to talk to himself about. He's got to find that dark corner in his home. Sit down, meditate, take time for himself, go on a nice late night drive, put on his favorite songs, put on his most inspirational songs, and let his mind run. Let his mind run free. That's what he's going to have to do, man. He's going to have to find himself. Seems to me perhaps Jey has forgotten who he is. He's not just the Yeet Man. He's not just a meme. He's not just a hand waving up and down. He's not just an entrance. He's not just some shades with a four-letter phrase on him. Okay? Who is Jey Uso? Is he able to complete his road to WrestleMania? Or is this where it ends? Is it going to end prematurely? Because right now, it's as if he's not even going to make it to WrestleMania. We, at this point, has stopped following him on his road to WrestleMania. At this point, we have disengaged from the ride that they was trying to take us on. All right? We took off our seatbelts. We seen something else a bit more interesting. And when that vehicle slowed down, we let ourselves out. And now we catching another ride. All right? A more exciting ride, a more invigorating ride. Okay? So, what is Jey going to do in this moment? That's the story. I'm giving it to y'all right now. That's the story. That's the story you use. That's the story you use to add a boost back into this rivalry, back into this feud, back into this road to WrestleMania between Gunther and Jey Uso. That's the moment you use. You take advantage of this moment presented right here in front of you. Take advantage of this failure and you tell a meaningful story with it that all of us can relate to. And then the people can get behind this. This now gives something that the people can really get behind. Because we all have those moments of failures. We all have those moments of embarrassment. And are we going to let that kill us off? Are we going to let that stop us? Are we going to let that take us off of our mission, off of our road to WrestleMania? Are we going to use that as fuel to run faster, go harder, and capture? Okay, so let's put some effort into this goddamn thing, man. For God's sakes, man. Let's stop lollygagging around with this story, man. Let's do something with this thing, man. All right? Perhaps now that the John Cena heel promo is over and done with, and that's finished, and perhaps, like I said, this moment that happened right there in front of everybody, this big botch that we all seen, we can't unsee this botch that happened. Those guys in the office, Triple H and Gorilla in the back, they can't unsee this botch that just happened. Why did it happen? Well, perhaps it did have something to do with that promo that John Cena was cutting. There's been reports that he went on longer than was scheduled, and that impacted the rest of the show. You can even see, you figured Jey Uso would come out with his normal entrance coming through the crowd. That wasn't the case. Jey Uso rushed to the ring from the entrance rampway this time. Unusual, right? Especially in Europe, right? Usually gonna come out and yeet, right? I figured all the audience was expecting that, right? Well, they never got that. They got Jey Uso racing down the runway, racing down the ramp straight to the ring, just in time to yeet in the sync of the music. So the fans can get a little piece, but it was really short-lived. The entrance was, and then the match was even more short-lived. which you could say is another botch. So Jey Uso, you figure he's going to be looking himself in the mirror after this one. And like I said, everybody's seen this. The crowd in attendance live, us watching live on TV that's already having doubts, particularly about Jey Uso, and particularly when he's matched up with a guy like Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Okay, let them not regret their decision they made to have Jey Uso go over as the Royal Rumble winner. So let's take this now and hold our horses and say, okay, we had the John Cena thing. That was the talk week after week after what happened at Elimination Chamber. We all wanted to see that moment. Okay, that moment is done with. We are excited to see what happens next week with John Cena. But the debut heel promo, all the speculation, all the internet videos, all the content creators were bickering and talking and saying, hey, what is he going to do? What's he going to come out with? Is there going to be new music? Is there going to be a change of attire? That talk is all over with right now. So now it's time to focus on your other world championship. And that's what I was trying to relay. They're both still world heavyweight championships. And John Cena's quest to get his 17th, well, many of those title victories that he has as part of that big number that he currently holds to match with Ric Flair at 16. Some of those was accumulated when he won the World Heavyweight Championship. So my point is that they have to make sure that this title is still represented properly. If they don't put any effort into the story, it subtly, I will admit, subtly diminishes the story of John Cena chasing that 17th World Heavyweight Championship / WWE Championship victory. So why not? Why not? They've definitely been lollygagging on this whole thing up till now. Now it's time to really turn the heat up. We got 4 weeks, about 4 weeks left to WrestleMania. Well, the good part is that they have 4 Raws and 4 SmackDowns. So they have eight more opportunities to get this right. And the story I just told, what I just gave them on a silver platter in the first part of this video, I think that's it. I think that's what you use. I think you use a real life scene that took place live in front of everybody to see. A botch, a failure, an awkward feeling of embarrassment. Use that. Put that into the story. That's what makes the best stories, when it's linked with reality. And we're going to have an opportunity to inject something back into the story with Gunther because, oh boy, oh God, it's dry. It's flat. Forget about what happened in all the weeks prior. Old news now. Play on this. Make him more of an underdog. He's got to search and find himself and figure out who the hell he is. Is he really just a meme? Is he really just a clown? Is he really just a mascot? Or is he something more? What's the original reason that we all fell in love with Jey Uso? Pause. What's the reason why? Huh? The OG reason. Come on, the OG bloodline. Huh? When he had that story, when he had that friendship, when he had that bond with Sami Zayn, that dynamic he had with his brother Jimmy, that relationship he had with Roman Reigns, family. That's where we really felt his story. They got to bring some of that back out of him. It can't just be about the yeet, about the entrance, about the theme music, about the crowd participation. There's something more there, and they have not capitalized on it. All I'm saying is that this botch, this moment of shame is an opportunity that is right in front of everybody. It can either be something that they say, oh no, this makes everything worse. It scares us and it allows us to step away from this whole story, or allows us to go all the way in with this story and make this something special. You can even, it's a risky move, but you can even do a story where in the match at WrestleMania, Jey Uso once again attempts that flip over the top rope. Because matter of fact, I just watched his match that he had with Roman Reigns at 2023 SummerSlam. And he executed that top rope flip over to perfection on Roman. Go back and watch it. So they can even do a story, although it's risky. If he were to botch again, it would be risky. But why not do a story where he loses his confidence? And in that match with Gunther at WrestleMania on the grandest stage of them all, he attempts it again. But this time, he's flawless. He soars through the air like a goddamn bird and takes Gunther down. And that's the beginning of the end and the beginning of the story for Jey Uso's victory, capturing that World Heavyweight Championship and starting a new chapter in his book. That's your story. That's your story right there, man. I told y'all this would be a little bit of a weird video, experimental, explaining things in an experimental way. Sure, it didn't work exactly the way I would like to, a little bit choppy, a little bit awkward, but I'm trying something a little bit new. You got to be willing to try. You got to be willing to try new things, all right? And they got to try something new with this goddamn rivalry, or it's just going to completely fail. And it's going to diminish everything. It's going to diminish the power of the World Rumble. It's going to diminish the power of the World Heavyweight Championship. It's going to diminish the power of Gunther. Jey Uso, most certainly. That's the story. Jey Uso loses his confidence. Jey Uso has to find himself. Jey Uso has to be reminded who he is. Let's get Jimmy back in there. Jimmy ain't got nothing better to do at WrestleMania anyways. Let's get Jimmy there to remind Jey, to look him in the eyes and remind him who the hell Jey Uso is. Perhaps his mystery partner on this upcoming edition of Monday Night Raw will be none other than his twin, than his brother, Jimmy Uso. All right? Big Jim. Perhaps Jimmy has to remind Jey how far he's come. I'm going back into my story right now. Listen, I'm giving it to y'all. Silver platter, all right? Perhaps Jimmy has to remind Jey how far he's come. Perhaps Jimmy has to remind Jey of the blood that runs inside his veins. Huh? Perhaps Jimmy has to remind Jey that he is worthy, that he is a champion, and that he's held gold before, and that he's main evented WrestleMania before, and that it's just time for him to do it again. That's all he's got to do. He's got to do it again. All right? And it's time to take Gunther's ass to the Uso Penitentiary. Let's have Roman take a look at him, bump into him, knock some sense back into him. Let's have Sami Zayn remind Jey of how much heart he has in his chest. That's your story. That's your storyline. So all they got to do is use what's right there in front of them, and they can create something magical that everybody can get behind. They can create emotion in this match. This match needs emotion. Because if y'all think that Jey Uso can't deliver in a wrestling match, y'all are mistaken. Go back and look at the Hell in a Cell match he had with Roman Reigns in 2020. Go back and look at the match he had with Roman Reigns at 2023 SummerSlam. Go back and look at that match and the story that they told. Go look at both matches and the story they told and tell me that wasn't a all-time performance. Tell me that wasn't a grand performance. Tell me that wasn't something special.
He needs a story behind him. Tell me when he was in the bloodline that he wasn't putting on masterful performances and that he wasn't a large reason for why we called it cinema. Tell me. He can do it. Jey Uso can do this. Just got to flip the switch. Just got to remember who he is and the type of stories that he's capable of telling inside that ring and on that microphone. All right? It can be done.
So, yo, once again, he's got to look himself in that mirror and ask himself, if you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted, would you catch it or just let it slip?